Hi, I'm Rebecca Johns, and I'm the Director of Education here at the Stark Museum of Art, and I want to talk to you about the process of writing your artist statement for the 2026 Juried Student Art Exhibition. Your artist statement is your chance to tell the jurors about your artwork, and it's an easy way to earn extra points in the jury process. And it's very important for all artists to learn to be able to talk about the art that they feel moved to make. And this is an example of the artist statement that you will be filling out. You can see that it has this place for your name, school, and grade. You will title your artwork. The medium is what you made your artwork with. Sometimes it's hard for us to tell exactly how you made it, so this is your chance to tell the process. And then you describe it. You're going to describe your work of art, and you're going to tell us what we see. And honestly, sometimes the description tells me as a reader and a viewer that what I assume I'm seeing is not what you were trying to tell me. And once I can see it through your eyes, it makes a lot more sense, or it even has more meaning. So be sure to tell us what we see. And then explicitly tell us how your artwork depicts the theme. And then also, how did you make it? What techniques did you use? Did you learn new techniques? Sometimes when we work on a project, we get pushed to learn and master things that we did not know before. So tell us that. Then tell us what was the hardest thing about making your work of art, and what was your favorite thing about making the work. And then have a little fun. Think about if there was music playing alongside your work of art and you could pick any song by any artist, which one would you choose? So give us the song title and then tell us the artist, and that way we know what rendition of the song we're listening to, and then tell us why you picked that song. Now let's pretend that a work of art that's in our collection by George Ennis was submitted for the Juried Student Art Exhibition. So let's look at two artist statements and the scores that they received. All right, so we're looking at two artist statements. One is scored a 1, and the one on the right is scored a 3. And a 1 is an emerging artist, and 3 is above average. And your score on the artist statement can really help take a really good work of art, technically, into a top scoring submission by having a strong artist statement. So on the left, what strikes me first at first glance is a lot of white space. So that tells me that this artist, George, has not used complete sentences. He hasn't given us a lot of information, and in some cases he skipped information. We have the bare bones of what was happening. So this one is scored a 1. But on the right, we can see a lot more. So let's dive into the answers for a 3 score. And let's learn some tricks that George used to get a good, strong score. So first of all, it's important that you give your name, your school, your grade, and that you title your work of art, and you tell us the medium. So he used oil paint on board, and then he's describing it. And whereas on the 1 score, he said sunset at the ocean, he's really using a lot more descriptive words and telling us a lot more about the visual elements in the number 3 artist statement. So he says choppy water fills the foreground with an arching landform in the middle ground. The overall color scheme is cool colored, but is contrasted with the piercing orange sunset. And then now is his chance to tell us why he painted this for the theme, We Complement Each Other. He says, my composition captures the power that complementary colors have to create a powerful artwork. I was haunted by a brilliant sun piercing the gray clouds over the gray-blue ocean during a winter trip to Normandy, France, and I wanted to share my memory in my painting. So right there, he has hinted to, or he has described that he was thinking about we complement each other, the theme, and he's showing it by creating a composition that uses complementary colors, blue and orange. and he's giving us a little bit of emotion, how he felt, where he's at, that this is tied to memory, and now we feel a little more connection to this artist. So the next question is, what techniques did you have to learn or use to make this work of art? And he's saying, I learned how to mix tones, tints, and shades using a variety of blues as my primary hue and experimenting by mixing blacks and whites. And so we are discovering that he probably knows a lot more about color mixing after this painting than before. So the subject matter really pushed his learning of creating all the different colors and shades and tones of blues and grays, and that was necessary when you're doing a stormy sky over a slate blue ocean. The hardest part was, he said, I spent a lot of time experimenting with color mixing to create the right tints, tones, and shades of colors I needed for my painting. So he's telling us right there, like, this was a challenge, but he had a great outcome. His favorite part of making the work of art? I really enjoyed adding the burst of orange paint for the setting sun. The whole painting transformed when I added the saturated color of orange in the sky. Yep, and that's what complementary colors can do. They can really take a picture and just like make it zing. And so he is, again, in his favorite part, kind of reinforcing that theme. Just works out well. You may not be a person who decides to use complementary colors to support your theme. You may choose to create an artwork that talks about the perfect pairing of something, like peanut butter and jelly, or a boy and his childhood dog, or maybe it's two girls that are best friends doing the thing they love to do together. You have a lot of leeway to get into your theme, but complementary colors is one of the ways, and that's the way George did it. Okay, so now we're going to have a little fun. At the end, you can choose a song. Let's imagine that your painting could sing a song, and when you walked up to it, this song was the pairing that you selected and we heard as we looked. So you're going to give the song title, the song artist, and why you chose it. It's important to tell us who is singing the song, because we know that songs, once they're written, can be sung by a multitude of different artists. So you get to pick the rendition that we hear. He picked a Frank Sinatra song called What Makes the Sunset. And George said, the lyrics of the song are a perfect match to what my painting represents. And so the juror gave George a 3, which is a very strong score on an artist statement. All right, so every single year, great student art does not make the exhibition because the student artist does not complete their artist statement. They may not finish all the questions. They don't write in complete sentences. It's just very basic, and it costs them. This is a competitive show. We usually receive over 700 works of art, and only 100 are going to end up in the show. So your artist statement is super important to separate yourself from the pack. Your first job is to create a great work of art, and your second job is to back it up with your artist statement. So it does matter. All right, so how can you do that? Along the way, as you're working on your work, you could journal, because you might not remember things that you struggled with on day 2 or day 3 when you've worked on it for several weeks. So you could make notes as you go and maybe look back on those, and that might help you try to answer your questions. Answer every question and write them in full sentences. And we're going to be looking for that appropriate to your grade level. So a juror is not going to expect a 5th grader to write in sentences that are as descriptive and detailed as a 12th grader. But you can see from the peers, and so be sure to put some effort into writing and giving it complete thought. You can also ask a friend or a teacher to proofread, and to make suggestions. And so you could always print another one and make changes after you've given it your first shot. And please write neatly so we can read your statement. That's really important. We want to be sure that we are spelling your name correctly. We want to be sure that we have your name right, and we want to get your information. So write neatly. You're certainly welcome to type. That's always wonderful. But if you're going to write, just slow down and print or write neatly. Thank you. All right, so these are the important things to keep in mind. Your artwork must be received here at the Stark Museum of Art by Wednesday, February 4th at 5 p.m. So artwork received after that will not be in the show. And we will immediately start working on the very time-consuming process of jurying, and we will announce our featured artists and award winners no later than Wednesday, March 11th. So again, those 100 works of art and the award winners will be announced on our website on Wednesday, March 11th. And then the top 100 scoring artworks will be scanned and featured in a digital exhibition in our community gallery and also online. They will also be framed and hung in our community gallery, but we'll have a slideshow that's constantly showing a work and the names as well. But that way your work will also be exhibited online. We're going to have a juried art reception, and that is going to be on Wednesday, April 1st, and it's going to be held from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. You'll receive more information about that later on. And once our exhibition has ended, we at the Stark Museum will return all Orange County public school artwork back to their schools, and we will should see that on Thursday, May 12th, 2026. If you are a school that submitted outside of Orange County, you can pick up between May 13th and May 16th and May 20th through 23rd, and those are 2 weeks. We're open to the public Wednesdays through Saturdays, and those are 2 weeks in May that we will have all your artwork up at the front, ready for you to sign it out, pick it up, and return it to your students. Any artwork that's not picked up after that date will be deemed donated and will be discarded or used for other purposes as deemed appropriate by the Stark Museum of Art. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. My email is right there, or you can give me a call, and I am happy to answer any questions you may have. We look forward to seeing your work of art and reading your artist statement. Good luck.